All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to English 102. I want to take a minute just to go over the course objectives in the syllabus. Um, it's something that's built into my course. These objectives are not designed by me. They were designed by Shoreline Community College. And every course has these. They're called Master Course Outcomes or Master Course Objectives. And there are 9 for English 102. And as you go through the modules and through the quarter, you'll see that each week there's an objective that I kind of want to focus on that week. And then for every assignment, I also indicate the objective. And sometimes they'll be the same, sometimes they'll be a little bit different. It just kind of depends on the overview of the actual week. But we'll return to these at the end of the quarter, because if this is what Shoreline has decided you all should be able to do when you leave the course at the end of the quarter, I want to make sure that I'm in alignment with that. So I'm not going to go over these in depth. I just want to raise your attention to what these are. And so we'll kind of go through them relatively quickly. Number 1 is identify and focus potential topics, form an appropriate research question and a hypothesis, and propose a research plan. So again, what should we research? Why should we research it? How are we going to research it? Number 2, use current academic research methods to retrieve college-level research information from a variety of sources. So we'll be working on that this quarter too. It includes things like, where do you find information that's appropriate for an academic paper? And how do you know that it's good for an academic paper? Number 3, read and critically evaluate sources in terms of bias, accuracy, authority, currency, purpose, relevance, audience, and other factors. Again, when we're reading a piece, a source text, is it biased? Is it accurate? Why do we trust it? And that's something we'll be working on later in the quarter with the annotated bibliography. Number 4, support a thesis by integrating a variety of primary and secondary source material, as well as the student's own observations, reasoning and observations. So what is our thesis? What's our main claim? And we'll go over thesis statements in more detail later in the quarter. And what information do we have to support that? Number 5, write research-based prose that is fluid, consistent in voice, interesting, well-organized, logical, and mechanically sound. So although we won't be doing a whole lot with grammar, there is an extra credit grammar quiz. We're going to focus on how do we present ideas. And I will say that doesn't mean using a lot of $5 words or using a lot of semicolons. It is, what is the most efficient and effective way to share our ideas? And for me, that's always clear and concise. Clear and concise writing wins the day almost every time. Number 6, present research information in a variety of forms, such as direct quotation, paraphrase, summary, and visual information in digital media. We won't be doing a whole lot with digital media. You're welcome to do some visual information like charts and graphs, but really we'll be focusing on the first 3. And the reason for that is I think they're the most common, but also it says in a variety of forms such as, so we can kind of pick from any of those on the list. Number 7, use information in a conscientious and ethical way, including consideration of its original context, ownership, values, and consequences. That does partially cover plagiarism, which we'll talk about later in this quarter as well. But it also means making sure we're not taking quotes out of context, that we're using our evidence in an ethical way, that we're not trying to mislead somebody or manipulate somebody. Number 8, identify general requirements of documentation in different disciplines, MLA preferred. So we'll talk about that this quarter as well. How do you create in-text citations? How do you create a works cited? And then the last one, critically evaluate written text in relation to purpose, audience, rhetorical strategy, information quality, and other factors affecting meaning. Apply these considerations when evaluating one's own meaning. So again, how do we know what sources to use? Are we evaluating them carefully and critically? And I think that this last one is kind of the one that I find most essential to our current world. It's difficult for us sometimes to critically evaluate things that we're reading and maybe even think about why somebody had written something. So those are the 9 course objectives. We'll circle back to these throughout the quarter, but know that these are, again, designed by Shoreline Community College, and they are the things that I'm trying to align with if these are the things that you're supposed to be able to do. Now, all the way at the end of the quarter, you'll be doing a reflection letter where I'll be asking you to kind of think about how you met or didn't meet these course objectives. And hopefully things are aligned in such a way that you've met most of them, if not all of them, by the time we've reached the end of the quarter. All right, so there you go. If you have questions, comments, concerns, jokes, memes, or recipes, please let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you all later.